and welcome to... I was going to say podcast. That's not right. Okay. Hello, and welcome to Dress to Kill, your favorite fashion in action movie podcast. Today, Elma and I are introducing you guys to Killing Eve. It's one of my favorite shows.
Me too.
And the surprise we want to surprise you with is we are going to cover Killing Eve season 4, which starts February, I believe, 28th. First airing.
7th?
Is it 27th?
27th.
We're going to cover each episode as they come out the following Tuesday on our Instagram in an Instagram Live, which hopefully we will be saving onto our Instagram. That's the goal.
Yes.
So exciting. Here's the surprise. So in today's episode, we wanted to talk through Villanelle, who is the main incredible villain in this show. We wanted to talk through her 5 most iconic looks.
And she has incredible iconic looks. Like
this, she really does. This show is so perfect for what we do and what we look for in our content, because it's all action. There's totally some espionage elements, and it's fashion. These characters have great taste.
Great taste and just amazing characters. Really
truly
interesting and fledged out characters.
Yeah.
They're and different kinds of women and different kinds of
Lou, tell them who the show's written by.
Oh, our favorite Phoebe Waller-Bridge. So she is the one that's started this show. She was the one that first started to adapt the novels, the Killing Eve novels, into a TV show. And I believe right now, I think after season 1, which was kind of her baby, she's been a little bit more letting other people take the reins in writing and directing. So she has more of a producer role from season 2 on. But she set the tone for what this is, and it's very unique, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah,
it showcases women, like you mentioned, different types of women. They're so fleshed out. It's one of those things where you don't always notice how shallow certain types of characters are until you see them fleshed out, and you're like, oh my God, this is what I was missing? This is incredible.
Yeah. It's just so much more delicious when there's details about these people, and I think it goes a lot more into the psychology of why they're making certain decisions and stuff, and it really gives you insight into what a psychopath thinks and psychopathic tendencies, and I love all of that.
Yeah, and it's a love story. Really, the show is about love. It's very Romeo and Juliet type of love, and it's fantastic. I mean, the male characters are wonderful and fleshed out too. I don't mean to put them aside.
Yeah,
it's just I feel like a little less frequent that you experience that with multiple female characters in a property. So
exactly,
wonderful. Everything. I mean, we've talked about this a million times. I don't think we have anything bad to say about it, really. Such a fantastic show. I mean, it's a show. There are a couple moments where you may be like, oh, that could have been a little better. But overall, I'm dead impressed with this show.
Me too.
Wonderful.
Shall we watch?
Yes. So we wanted to open this episode with the trailer of season 4 that neither of us have watched yet. So we're going to watch it together. Right here, right now.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
When to press play.
Okay. Will you give us a 3, 2, 1 and then press?
Sure. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
What's bothering you, Villanelle? I don't like the way I feel. I killed 2 people last night after I tried really hard not to. Okay. Well, that's not ideal.
New character.
No, he was in last
good
season.
music. Oh, he was.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
New character.
New character.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, I love Fiona Shaw.
Oh, me too.
You're still playing the same old game of chess. So what game are you playing?
Oh, a literal Romeo and Juliet Baz Luhrmann throwback.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
Very cool.
You called it.
Trying to show you
Whoa. February 27th. Okay, I was a couple days off.
Final season. Ooh.
Ooh, is she a new character?
Do you know that fable about the scorpion and the frog? They hook up. Die.
They both die.
Because the scorpion can't change its nature. Maybe you're the scorpion.
Love story.
Oh. Oh.
Very Romeo and Juliet vibes.
Very, very. Does that mean they're both gonna die?
When does the show
Oh
start?
my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They
It
might.
is
What
the
if they
final
do?
season. What if they
Wow.
do? You heard it here first. Just
You
kidding.
heard it here.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I am so excited. I can't wait. Lou, you've just been catching up. You've been watching the previous seasons, right?
Yes.
So
Not
you're
catching up, but
fresh.
rewatching.
Well, yeah, catching up.
I've
Totally wrong.
I've probably seen I love this show so much. I've probably seen the first season like 4 times over, and then the second one a couple times. And I'm just reaching season 3 for the second time now, and it's great.
So
The
great.
fashion is there's just so much of it. Like,
Yes.
it's a feast for the eyes, first of all. But it really gives you a sense of how frivolous and like reckless / careless, but like into fashion she is. And
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. And
It's just so wonderful to have a central character who's like very has a fantastic, incredible taste, and also has she's so open to different styles, and who has that feeling of like, I'm just going to do anything I want and have it be wild if I want.
Exactly.
Because you get to live through her. And oh my God, the things she wears. We could have easily made this episode about the 5 most epic things she wears, the 5 most fashionable things she wears, the cutest things she wears. Like, there's so many different things we could do, and it was really hard to narrow it down. But we've decided we want to do the most iconic, because as we always talk about in context of the character, the most iconic looks are the ones that really describe her as a character more.
Yes. And when you think about what is iconic, it's especially in like a medium like film or TV, it's what did that outfit do in the role of that scene or that moment?
Yeah.
It's like a memorable moment.
That's what burns
she's
it in.
wearing. Exactly. And again, it was hard to narrow down. But should we start with the first one?
Yeah.
Which I think
We're just doing
is
chronological,
maybe-
so one is not better than the other.
yeah.
For the record.
I think this actually might be just hands down the most iconic Villanelle look.
I think so
And
too.
it's the pink tulle dress by Molly Goddard with the combat boots from season 1, episode 2.
It is so cute. It was such an iconic moment. She's wearing it around in the streets all over. And what I love about this dress is it's a very baby doll type of shape, and it just makes her look like a little kid. A super fashionable, really cute, but like a little kid. But she's this like psychotic killer,
I know.
and that says
it's
so
the
much about her
perfect-
character.
Exactly. Because, okay, so to describe the scene that it's in, it's when she's first getting evaluated by her employers, where she's an assassin for. She's getting evaluated about her kind of
Warning,
where her
spoilers. Spoilers for the
Yes.
past 3 seasons, but like I think that none of them,
let's
they've
say.
been out for multiple years, all 3 by now, so I think it's okay. It's safe to say, but quick warning.
And she's getting evaluated about is she still psychologically fit, or is she still kind of crazy enough? I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to get out of her, but they're trying to see if she's still a good killer. And she comes to this wearing, I feel like it's kind of in a moment of rebellion, like, I'm gonna, like, oh, you guys are gonna evaluate me, I'm gonna show up in my whatever, like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm not respecting this
I'm a
process
little-
because this is ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so
that's
she
also
wears this.
I feel like she comes to everything like that. She's rebellious against everything. She's constantly through the show acting like a kid. Like these people who are her handlers feel like parents to her. The way that she pursues her love interest, who's Eve, is very childlike.
Yes, plays games,
Constantly. Everything's just play.
Yeah, exactly. And this dress is so cute. I think I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was like 490 pounds in British pounds, I think, and it sold out like right after the episode.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
And she wore it at a time when those big fluffy huge tulle dresses in bright colors just started coming out and were so popular. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
I love it. I really love it. I love all of this.
I know.
She's such a fascinating character.
This is the most iconic, right? It's used in all the promo things. Yeah. I think
this is iconic to the degree. Totally. This is an iconic to the degree that if you saw an animated image without a face, you just get, the general shape of a person in this dress, you'd know that's Villanelle from Killing Eve. And that's like truly iconic is when you can identify it from like a cartoon.
That's a good way to put it. It's like Karl Lagerfeld, you can identify with his ponytail, the glasses, and the high collar. It's like this is killing Villanelle's icon status outfit. Yeah.
I always think of there's this one artist who's at all the like kind of indie art shops that I've galleries that I've been to, who does, you may have seen this art where, I wish I knew the name of this artist, I feel terrible. He does kind of, or they do kind of small pieces, and usually it's of different characters. It'll be like one or two looks from each character. Like if there's like a couple that go together, it'll be one look from either, and there's no face painted on it. It's just the body in an outfit. And so if they wanted to do like the Lost Boys, they would do all of them. Like usually they're in some kind of pairing, or like he did the girls from Frozen together. He or she does all those. They do all those types of things, and it's that type of like iconicness that I just love, and I always imagine his art. If I can see this in that person's art, gosh, why do I keep saying him? Maybe subconsciously I remember his name. I don't know who it is. Anyway, I always imagine that. You guys get the idea.
Exactly.
Okay, what's look number 2?
Look number 2 is in season 1 again, episode 3, and it's the Dries Van Noten printed suit that she wears when she goes to like a Berlin nightclub and kills Bill. Kill Bill. She kills Bill.
Wow, I wonder if that's they named him Bill on purpose, because he's like a really epic early on kill that's like really important to the story.
I know. Can I just say, I went on this rewatch too. I was like, I was impressed with, because it only happens on episode 3, the third episode of this brand new TV show. I was impressed how much I already was invested in Bill's character, and how sad it was when he died.
Oh, I was
like, dang,
broken.
Just 3 episodes and he was gone. Great character too.
So fantastic.
But let's talk about the suit.
Yeah.
Do you want to describe the suit?
So, speaking of iconic looks, we had to pick a suit because Villanelle wears printed suits constantly. That's an iconic vibe for her. And we kind of just had to pick the one that we felt was the most iconic of all of them. And since this scene is so huge and vital, I feel like it really burns this image into your mind. And so I feel like this suit is the one that is the most Villanelle.
Yeah,
and I would think you agree. Yeah. So we chose this one. But yeah, let's talk about what it looks like. Will you describe it? Because you're better at the fashion words.
Okay, so it's a blazer and a trouser pant. It's mostly burgundy and like a cobalt blue print, kind of just a geometric print on like a dark navy ground. And it's I feel like it's gorgeously tailored. She has her like boxer braids with it, so she looks like masculine, but
wait, she has boxer braids with it? I didn't remember that.
I think so, or maybe it's a ponytail. I think it's braids that is that's pulled back, like braids into a, like not pigtail boxer braids, but like what do you call? Are they called
Oh.
Dutch? Whatever the other kind of braid. It's called this Dutch braids. French, not a French
Oh,
braid. Anyway,
I know the kind you're talking about, where it's like it looks Dutch. I mean, that helped.
Yeah, I
boxer
think
braids
that's what it
tucked in.
is. Yeah, exactly. But I think the key thing about this look, I love that she's wearing the suit and it's shiny, but she's wearing Eve's scarf, this green
Yes.
scarf that they called out as like an ugly scarf on the show, and she had just snuck into her luggage and just looked at what Eve is carrying on her trip and pulled this scarf out, and I think she gave the suitcase back. Like she gave
the suitcase
returned
back,
it, but
except
without
the scarf. Yeah, she kept the scarf.
exactly. Yeah, she kept the scarf. and
Another
she's
very
wearing
like
this-
little kid lover thing to do. I
I
don't know about
know,
little kid,
yeah.
but adolescent, let's say.
Yeah, adolescent, exactly. But all of the colors look great on her, and yeah, it's such a memorable moment. And you see like the Berlin subway, the trains, and the
She goes into a
It's such a
nightclub to kill him. So
moody-
and she kills him just in the middle of all these people, jam packed.
Yeah.
Like it's the opposite of what you'd think. You'd think you go to kill someone, you go to a private place where no one will see you, and she does the opposite.
Oh,
She's in the
no,
most public
yeah.
place where everyone potentially can see you, but because of that, you're kind of drowning in the crowd. People don't notice, which I think
yeah,
again,
Terrifying.
it's so it's the first time I think it's the first time we see her kill someone in detail that we care about, and we just get this sense of how she is a child. She doesn't care. She's just doing it. She's so frivolous about the way she does things, and because she so doesn't care, she's almost less likely to get caught because of a lack of meticulousness in that way.
exactly. Her cockiness really
Very,
shows through in this, especially because she kind of lures him to the club.
Absolutely.
And she knows he's following, and she goes to the front of the line at the club, and the bouncer's like, no, you can't get in. And then she just gives him a look like, are you kidding me? Like with her pretty face, and he's like, okay, come on. And he lets her right in. It's like she is so cocky. And
Love it.
then he follows her in, and then the tables turn, and she stabs the shit out of Bill. It's insane, very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's our next?
Now, number 3 is this is a great one. It's probably one of her most fun outfits, and this is in season 2, episode 1. Her pajamas that she wears, stolen from the little boy in the hospital.
We had to include this because we had to include some of this spur of the moment, playful, and how she can just wear anything. Of course, it's an
Yeah, it was
iconic
like
moment.
improvising moment where she was like, okay, what do I wear? Just grab these PJs.
So she's wearing like a little boy's pajamas. So obviously they're tight on her. They're printed. What is the
short
print?
at the ankles.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I'm
Like
not
cars and
exactly
stuff,
sure. I think it
dinosaurs,
says like
boy stuff.
kapow and like.
Oh,
like,
yeah, you're right.
I think it's like comic book.
You're totally right. I should have had that in front of me.
onomatopoeias? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic book.
And the funny thing is, I read an article. It said they had a different print before, but they had to change the fabric because of copyright reasons. So this is a custom-made pajama for her.
And it's that typical boys, like a dark blue with like red and yellow accents, green. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. This is a great moment because it was after she had been stabbed by Eve, and she got put into the hospital, and she's, like clearly like, I need to get out. I can't stay here. And really, sadly, she kills the boy who she breaks his neck and who's in the hospital, who befriended her in the hospital, and then steals his pajamas and gets out.
Yeah. What's great about this scene, this collection of scenes, this episode, her relationship with that boy, is you learn, first of all, you see her relating to someone who kind of psychologically is her same age.
Yeah, I was going to say, exactly.
Fascinating. And she thinks she's doing him a service. She's not killing him because he's like on her list of people that she's killing for work, but she kills him because he's sick in the hospital, basically, and he's suggesting like, well, I don't know if I want to live. And rather than encouraging him, you can get through this, you'll live, he's like not terminal. necessarily. Instead of doing that, she was like, oh, you don't want to live? Great, I'll kill you.
I know. Crazy.
Which is really like a confusing thing for the audience to see that that's a nice thing, but also a terrible thing.
Yes. Yeah. But they do so many of these things that like the show loves to touch on that, like good or bad, or for better or worse, or and I love that I love the way it's written. I think they do a great job of just exploring
fantastic
those in between the gray areas,
yeah they really do a great job of getting into the psychology, not just of our lead Villanelle, but I guess Eve might be the lead. They're kind of equal leads to me.
They're yeah, I think they're both. Yeah. And into the psychology of both of them.
Yeah.
Because
so good.
Yeah. I think the
psychology is interesting. They both are like,
it's so interesting.
Not clear and direct with how they're feeling.
Exactly. Like humans are. And that's what's so beautiful about the way that this is written. It feels very human.
Yeah. All right, what's our next?
Next outfit is season 2, episode 4. We see them arrive in Amsterdam, and of course they need a red light district scene. Not of course, but you get one. And she, for this crazy weird kill, she wears a dirndl and a piggy mask, and they called it a cherubic pig in an article, and I love that.
Cherubic pig.
Like a cute piggy mask, like a animated piggy mask.
A dirndl, for those who don't know, is like a classic German dress. If you've seen those made fun of in movies all over the place. It's like kind of a puff sleeve, a lot of cleavage showing. It's like somewhat corseted at the waist, and then it's like a big puff at the bottom. I think a classic one would be long below the knee, but the ones you see imitated, especially in the red light district, are short.
The costume version of
yeah,
exactly.
It's the kill she does is wonderful. I mean, she kills someone in the piggy mask in that outfit, right in the red light district, in the window, like full glass. She has a crowd around because they think she's going to do something sexual, and then I think most people assume that it's some trick, that he's not actually dead, and the man who she kills, his wife, is in the audience of people outside watching, and at first you're like, oh my god, she's killing him in front of the wife, and then you realize, oh, the wife is the one who asked him to be killed, who like hired her to kill him.
It's
incredible.
It's so crazy, this scene. And her, they love the juxtaposition of like the darkness and then her playful attitude all the time.
When she is playing, she's playing for the audience. She's such a show off.
Exhibitionist, and she is a performer. She's it's incredible. And the outfit, hands down, like when you ask what's iconic, this has to be in there because it's so memorable.
And it represents her
super unique.
doing disguises, because she does have a lot of interesting disguises throughout the show. We couldn't pick a bunch of disguises for a 5 most iconic looks, but this represents how she does disguises so interestingly, and the style in which she does them. Wow.
Yeah. And it's cute. It's a cute costume.
And it's cute.
Yeah. She
Everything
looks
she
great
wears
every
is cute.
single time.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few times where I'm like, I don't know about that, but it looks good on her. She really pulls it off.
Yeah.
There's a reason that people are obsessed with Jodie Comer now.
Yeah. She's a chameleon. Well, I mean, the character of Villanelle is definitely a chameleon, but I feel like, Jodie Comer is too.
I don't know if I'd say she's a chameleon. I'd say she knows how to do what she's got to do, what feels appropriate to the situation. But I think she's really strong in who she is, and she's very not bending to anything. I don't know if I'd consider her in that way. Although maybe that's just how I'm interpreting the word chameleon. She's good at playing roles in the way that
yes, exactly.
What is the official term? She's a psychopath. She is a psychopath. So she's the way that she's interacting with people, she's adopting from seeing their responses and stuff in a very logical way. So of course, she does play into certain roles well with people. but I see who she is like very strong and not shifting. Like as compared to me, I'm a very personality chameleon. I shift around all the time.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I agree with that. Okay, so the last outfit, number 5 for the icons.
Wait, was that 4?
Do you want
I thought that was 3.
That was 4.
Oh shoot, I forgot the suit. Oops.
Do you want to
I'll
say what we're doing for number 5?
Okay, so our number 5 was a bit of a struggle. We wanted to pick one of her robes that she wears around the house. Usually, it's an iconic look of hers to wear a robe. So many, and just sleepwear in general. Wearing silk robes, pajamas, lounging around is such a big aspect of who she is, especially style wise. Like she really says a lot when she wears these things. But we have been struggling to pick which robe is the most iconic. So we decided for our number 5, the robe, we are going to ask you guys on our socials to vote on our socials. Let me be specific. We're going to ask you on our Instagram stories and social media at Dressed to Kill Pod, which robe you guys like best, which one you think is the most iconic. And that'll be the one that goes with this episode as our choice for number 5.
And yes, we definitely wanted to put a robe in. Like you said, it's what she wears around the house. Like such a character identifying thing. I love that she has just all this time to hang out at home and chooses to wear luxurious things, you know, still be very fashionable when no one is seeing her, and she just wants to feel good and feel amazing even when she's just at home. You've never seen her in sweats.
No.
I don't think, unless it's like for a disguise or a character, an improvising moment, but
exactly.
She's always got gorgeous kimonos, gorgeous pajama sets.
So Elma, tell them your favorite robe.
Oh, my favorite. I've mentioned this to Alana like 5 times. Like, let's talk about this robe. It's one of the first robes you see her in that is a little bit more of a kimono type, like traditional looking kimono type, but in a simple blue and white.
It's got those arms.
Abstract-y print. And I love this one because the fabric, the text, they're all about the textile clearly, but this one in particular I really like. And it's in a scene where she's pretending to play dead with Constantine. So, you know, again, that play, you get really a sense of how she likes to have fun with Constantine and all the people around her.
You get a sense of her perspective of death. It's like, it's not heavy and serious to her at all. It's kind of like, all right, people die.
Yes. That's a good point. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Gorgeous. They're all gorgeous.
Yeah. Do you have a memorable or favorite one that you love?
My favorite doesn't quite, I think it counts as a robe, but it's a little rough. So my favorite is this silky green jacket / robe. It has a collar, like a suit collar. But it's the whole thing is like soft and light and silky, and it's long as well. And she wears it one day when she's hungover,
or past the knee.
I think it's calf length, or maybe actually could be longer. It's like a basic coat, so I think it's about calf length. That's a hard one to say, calf length.
Calf length.
And the color is this emerald green, and the texture just makes it really pop. Oh, and I love that she wears this gorgeous robe while she's completely hungover and her makeup's all smeared, her hair is crazy. I think this is while she's in Amsterdam. I don't know how soon it is after her kill, but she's kind of going in. She has a lot of struggles going on by the time she's in Amsterdam.
Yeah, exactly. This was after she had been waiting for Eve to come. You know, she did the piggy kill, and then she had been waiting for like MI6 to come, and she was hoping it would be Eve, but they actually sent the other girl. So she was kind of disappointed, and then she goes out on a bender and gets like wasted and gets, you know, does all kinds of drugs, and then that was her outfit she was wearing when she went out. And so she comes home and doesn't even take her makeup off and wakes up in this.
Yep. So I don't know if this counts. Gorgeous. I think it counts as a robe because she wears it as a robe, but this is my favorite.
I love that one. It's like you said, it's the cool one. Like she has a lot of she has a lot of cool outfits, but this like texture and the shininess of the fabric is very techie looking. I don't know. It's very cool. Techie in terms of like, not like tech bros.
I know. I was like, hold on.
Like, no, like techno or something. A little bit like spacey.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say. And okay, wow. And that's actually not how I see it either. But that's interesting. Yeah, even more to see now. Wow. Well, and
with my eyeballs, that's what I see.
Some of the other robes she wears a pink robe. And I think pink is kind of an iconic color for her. Just a strong color is iconic for her. But the pink,
bold
her being
colors,
a killer, wearing light pink shades, I think, always stands out. She's not a super feminine person, so it's not. The pink doesn't show off her personality as as much as it shows like the light and playfulness.
Exactly. Color pink. I was gonna say, like, I don't know, because the pink tulle dress, for example, is a very feminine piece of clothing. But I agree with you. I don't think she is a very feminine person.
But she does have a feminine taste. She wears plenty of things that are quite feminine. But yeah, not to be confused with her personality. Those are more just like expressions of fashion.
Exactly.
Style.
But I love that. Yeah, exactly. Because in most. Not most, but in other TV shows where maybe it's not about fashion or they put less focus on the fashion, the person might just be wearing the same shapes every single day in every episode, but like slightly different colors, and they have 4 color palettes, or colors that they wear, and that's it. And
colors,
a little bit of accessory. But this really, because fashion a lot of the times is the first way anyone can kind of guess what your personality is. You know, it's what we put, it's a way of expressing ourselves, obviously.
Absolutely.
And so this,
and especially when in content, like it's really,
for sure,
every little aspect to get people invested in the character, to help them understand and connect with this being. So you want them to get to know that character as soon as they possibly can. And I feel like
clothing is a powerful way to do that. Yeah,
exactly. And it's something that a lot of people underestimate, the costume design, if they're less interested in fashion, for example. But like clearly the two of us highly estimate. We really value the costume design. That's, what the podcast is about. So it's so wonderful to have a show that
celebrates
goes there.
It.
Yeah, and all of the show really is that in depth and that well made, but the fact that we have a character that like loves fashion, it makes it, and it's well made in this way. It just makes it the most fun. It's like having a Carrie of Sex and the City, but on a show that's more our vibe.
Yes, exactly.
And modern and current.
Yes.
Yeah. So cool. Some of the other robes, she wears a dark robe with a print. In one,
the black with like black? The floral. I think I know the one you're talking about. There's one that's like it's like dark roses and black. It looks like black smoke and roses, kind of. But I don't know if that's the one you're talking about.
I think that is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's and that one's by Meng. I think it's the same designer that did the robe, the 007 Octopussy, the Octopussy robe that just was on the website. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Recently. Yeah. So I think it's the same designer.
Wow,
little
interesting.
Bond carryover.
Yeah. Besides the writer. Amen. Yeah, love her.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And we're also in this voting mix. We're going to throw in a pair of silk pajamas because although they aren't a robe, they're very close to it, and she wears them in the same context. They have the same place for her character.
It's like loungewear.
Yeah.
It's like what she's wearing at home, lounging.
Definitely. And I love these pajamas, actually.
I know, me too.
These would be on a keep list for me, for sure. They're like
You're talking about the green? Yeah,
I was going to say like a lime green. I don't remember the details in the print.
I think it's like it's the top and pant pajama set, right?
Yes, top and pant. Nice quality looking pajamas, well made, silky.
Yes, so cute. I think it's like what do you call, kind of a Art Deco, Art Nouveau type floral. I don't know which.
The flowers are small. Whatever is in the print, it's a small one, but spaced out, so you don't get a huge.
Exactly, it's spaced out.
Yeah, you don't get a huge You know, that's what she does with all of her prints. None of the prints really hit you over the head. They're all kind of, I don't know if subtle is the right word for print, but the print
Yeah,
never
I know
takes
what you
away
mean,
from the
though.
silhouette.
Yeah. I love those pajamas actually are like ones I would love to have in real life. I
Oh,
think they're by
yes.
Olivia von Halle, but let me double check that. They're so like trendy and cute and just luxurious hanging out at home kind of outfits.
Man, I'm thinking about all her pink looks now, and she has a lot of iconic looks that are pink. That's part of why I think having that dress as one of our choices today was so important. Like, remember that pink outfit she wears with those big gold earrings? It's like I think it's a collared pink top off shoulder and a big skirt.
Oh,
Also
yeah.
pink.
That was a moment. I love that moment too, because the girl's like, "Can I take a picture of you for my Instagram?" She's like, "Of course not. What are you, stupid? Get a life."
Yeah, which actually
So
I was
good.
gonna say, we've mentioned how she was such a performer in the piggy kill, but she isn't a performer just to perform. She just, when you're doing something that you think you're doing well and you have that bit of like, ooh, look at me, mom, I'm doing this thing. She performs in that way.
Confidence.
She wants to
Yeah,
impress the people she
exactly.
wants to impress or show off and have her ego
Show
flare
off,
up.
yeah,
But she's not a performer
for
in the like Hollywood sense where, yeah, let me be getting attention from people. Like, no, she's fine.
Yeah.
She doesn't need any of that.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I just
and I
love.
think how
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say how they define that so clearly too in just the way that the character is written and her actions, yeah.
I just think it's such an interesting character. I love how. I love. What is the word again? She's psychotic.
Psychopath. Mhm.
I love that she's a psychopath, but we still really explore her character in a very Dexter way. I think Dexter was iconically the first show that had us looking into the psychology of a killer with empathy. Or the first big famous show to do that, at least. The one that shifted Hollywood.
Yes, but I'm aware.
Oh. Well, don't watch past the third season if you do. There's a certain point at which it goes bad. Also, it's coming back apparently, so it's
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
coming back. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. But
Good to know.
Yeah, I love that we get to really look into that in a deeper way. But I feel like this is really, I mean, for shows and movies I've seen, the deepest we get into understanding a character who also is that way. Like, I feel like I can describe her personality as though I was her therapist.
Right. Yes.
She's very childish, totally stuck in a certain time, which also is very, if you have trauma at a young age, many people kind of get stuck in some of the mindsets of that age. This is a psychology thing. I'm not saying it from personal experience, although I can see it in my personal experience too. But like, she really is stuck in a young age where she clearly must have had some trauma. Or didn't, maybe. We kind of go around that.
There is. They drop nuggets of that, or not nuggets, but like, when in season 3 when she visits her family, like her mom and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's really
I
fascinating.
don't remember exactly the details. It's
Really
so fascinating. And about the psychopathic like psychology and stuff. I love how Sandra Oh as Eve on the other end is like, okay, she's an MI6 agent. She's supposed to be a good person, and also has psychopathic tendencies almost, or like is exploring her own,
I feel like she's
yeah, tell me what you think.
I don't think she's psychopathic. I think she just, through someone who's so playful and childlike, she's exploring more of her wants and indulgences rather than being so buttoned up. I feel like she's spent a lot of her life doing things right and being buttoned up and appropriate, even though she still has like a good sense of humor and she's still very casual with her husband when she has a husband and things like that. I still feel like she's someone, like, she has a job at MI6. Like, the types of things she's been doing with her life, she's needed to be appropriate, efficient, and I love that she's Asian for that reason too, because I feel like even culturally you can expect that her parents probably instilled that in her, regardless of where she grew up. And Elma, we talk about this a lot, right? Having the different cultures you're raised with, with your parents. And so I see that she starting to see that Villanelle is like interested in her and seeing some special treatment from her and love from her, that she starts to really like that, and like that this is someone who's so free and open and just does things even if they're bad and she shouldn't do them. And I think that kind of opens up Eve's things she wants to do even though they're bad and she shouldn't do them.
Okay, here I have a
little bit more. In case this covers what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think she has interest in these areas probably from when she's younger, but because she works in MI6, she works with a lot of like killing. So I think these are also curiosities she's developed or gotten more into because she's looking at murders all the time. Like she is desensitized to a degree where I think your average person wouldn't have an evil fantasy to like attempt murder or look into that, but I think she has it because she's been in this world so long, and she's also kind of in that position where she started to question which side is even right. If both sides are killing and both sides are doing these things, maybe it's just there isn't a good or a bad, maybe there's just doing these things that feel alive. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
Definitely alive. I think, yes, exactly, feeling alive. There's moments when, let's say, maybe psychopathic tendency isn't the word, but it's like little impulses that
I could be wrong, so please, go off.
So I would say impulses. So there's moments where she's like she's looking at her veins on her leg and like thinking about cutting, or just the idea of killing, like you said, like they see a lot of killing in their job,
and just death around everywhere, and death was so heavy to Eve because she's trying to defend these people who've died, but to Villanelle death is light, nothing.
But the thing about how coming out of her buttoned upness, so to speak, I think she was already kind of that character. Like she was a little bit of a rebel and spoke her mind a lot in like things, and Fiona Shaw, the what's her character name? Carolyn chose her to be on her team because she knew that she could be a little bit reckless and will approach things in a little bit bolder way. I think Eve already is a bit more like out of her shell so to speak.
I think, but I feel like that's just where we start with her in this season. I feel like to me, it feels like definitely in her past, like she's just gotten to the point where she's become more and more and more relaxed about this stuff because it's just annoying that it's going on, and like you're in a job for long enough, you're not as attentive and trying to get everything done properly as you once were. I feel like she's gotten to that point where she's like tired of what's going on. She's used to it. It's like the same stuff every day, and because of that she's like in this very less professional state sometimes. I feel like we just come at that point in the character. I feel like in her past she was a lot more official and doing things right and not speaking her mind and not talking about the things that she might have a intuition on.
You're right, because that we don't see like what she was like before, but you hear from Nico, her husband, that she's changing, or that she's that like things are different. So I can see that
she's definitely going more evil. I'm not trying to say she's opening up 100%. She's opening up and kind of taking the wrong path. She's opening up in a way that's not so helpful and great and healthful. Yeah, exactly. It's like because she's warned by the guy, the evaluator, the kind of a psychiatrist evaluator for the MI6 team. She, he's showing slides of like dead people and talking about death and mental health and stuff, and she's very blank cold, and plain, cold, and when everyone else has emotion. So there's hints where I feel like they're trying to sprinkle like hint at you about her. Totally,
but I guess desensitizedness.
I mean, you're not wrong. You could very well be right. I'm just saying an opinion.
Yeah. But that's why I love this show, because they do take the time to make you think about, or like give the character time to think about, is this, you know, like what is going on in their head. Yeah.
You know, part of how I relate to it, because it is a love story, and I feel like she's being influenced because she's fallen in love with Villanelle. Like, there's definitely, if not all of her, a part of her that is in love and can't resist in that way. Yeah, she has to, she kind of can't stop herself from trying to be around Villanelle, trying to think about what she's thinking, whatever, you know, when you're in love with someone. And I think about, in a very different adjacent context, how I relate to this is I've dated a lot of guys who are very childish, and you know, there are some millennial men who are still kind of boys, not to throw anyone under the bus, but especially I've dated in LA. I feel like that's a little more common in LA. However, and so like I can relate to, there is a magic when you, I mean, I'm a playful person in general, but I'm attracted to someone who, or I have been in the past, in my youth, to someone who's really playful and free and just does things at the spur of a thought and feeling, and is very just reactive and fun and playful and does not hold consequences, and impulsive. And at the same time is also unhealthy in the ways that can be wonderful, but that's also unhealthy. And they have, and which is the same with Villanelle. Like, she really is this childlike, she's not concerning herself with consequences. And when they show up, she'll deal with them then. And often she just doesn't. And she's just like, no, I'm going to get my way. And she just says it and pushes hard enough until she does. Like, she just sets a tantrum until she gets her way. And I feel like there are a lot of people who have that, or at least parts of that in their personality. And I can totally relate to the feeling of what makes you fall in love with that, but also why that's so difficult and a struggle. And when you finally kind of grow up in yourself, you don't allow those things into your life anymore, and you don't allow yourself to be brought along in those ways or treated in those ways when they're not fantastic. And I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about Eve, is it's almost a bit of a midlife crisis, her having been, in my opinion, more professional. I don't know if tightly wound is the way to say this, but more like diligent and appropriate
career,
her being more in that way in the beginning of her life, and kind of getting to this midlife place where things aren't really making sense in the same way, and she wants to just let herself loose and play, and she falls in love with someone who is that way entirely, and just kind of experimenting with letting those parts of herself come out. And now she's becoming just like this person, where she's also making poor choices and kind of feeling good about creepy things. And like, I get it when you're with someone who's in that playful way, like it is, you catch it from them, and then you start being that way too. And you start being less recognizing consequences. But then when you do that, because you're used to recognizing consequences, they come back up and you're like, oh, why did I make that terrible choice? And you really have that fight in your head. And I feel like that's what she's going through, like what it feels like to fall in love with someone who has that kind of playful set, except in this case they murder. It changes things just a little.
It's so good. I love their relationship.
It's so wonderful.
Season 4 looks like there's going to be a lot of them too. Like in season 1 and 2, it's a lot of chasing around, you know, and then in season 3 you get a little, or maybe from season 3
you get a little deeper, you get a little more backstory. Like you said, we see Villanelle's parents.
Yeah. So I'm excited for season 4. I think.
What do you think is going to happen?
They're so. Now that you said, do they both die?
I know. I feel like it's going to be a really Romeo and Juliet season now. I feel like they'll probably both die.
The hints are there. You're right. Yeah.
That's my prediction.
I wouldn't be surprised. Really wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to think about the side characters too, like what might happen with them, but I don't really fully remember where everyone left off, except for that Kenny died, and he's one of my favorites.
Me too. That's so terrible.
So sad.
Oh man.
I wonder if he had like
the show hurts you. I think they'll kill both of them.
It really I know. You're right. It actually
killed.
Killing Eve is gonna happen. Okay, I'm looking forward though. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see the fashion. It's especially like I don't know when they started production on this or anything, or like during the pandemic or how.
Oh yeah, it's always a question since the pandemic started. When did they pull these outfits that they're wearing in this? Was it 3 years ago? Was it 4 years ago? Was it 1 year ago?
That's my question. So I'm wondering how fresh everything's gonna look, but I'm sure she's gonna look killer.
Oh, nice choice of words. Yes.
Do you have any other predictions?
I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Looking forward to it.
We took your votes, and the winner is Villanelle's blue kimono from season 1, episode 1.
And a great choice. Thank you guys for voting on your favorite loungewear look for Killing Eve. We are so happy to have some audience participation. We're trying to include more of that wherever we can. If you have any suggestions, please let us know on our Instagram at DressedToKillPod. Thank you. Thank you. We hope you loved this episode too. How fun.
I know. So fun.
So fun.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Thank you. And we're just introducing Killing Eve to all of you. So I'm sure some of you may not have seen the show. I'm so sorry for the spoilers. I hope that you're inspired to see it if you haven't yet. It's really fantastic. I bet you'll love it. And I hope that you're going to love our coverage. Our coverage will be on Tuesdays on our Instagram. We're doing Instagram lives, but we will save the videos. So if can't make it live, don't worry. But if you can make it live, we'd love to get questions from you. We'd love to have you a part of the discussion. We're doing this on Instagram for a reason.
Yes.
And our normal podcast episodes will continue. No concerns or worries there. Yeah.
Exactly. A little bonus Killing Eves.
Little bonus Killing Eves. Well, thank you guys. Thank you. And we'll talk to you. You'll hear us again next week. Hopefully talk to you on our Instagram.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.